Hello, everybody. Really, people? You can do that.
Anything Minyan tonight?
What?
You want Minyan tonight?
Yes.
I
I'm having
guess that was an idle conversation if there ever was any.
it's like, when I don't think we will, we do, and when I think we will, we don't, so I don't know. But I did decide that I don't think I'm gonna go next Tuesday. Because Agudas is having their Hanukkah dinner
Oh, right afterwards.
at 6.
Yeah, I'm not. I
And
have
it's,
a dinner date with 2 women friends.
yeah, so it's kind of like, I don't want to try to find parking.
Well, we'll be parking at 5:15.
Well, but I don't know how many people are going to be there to set it up. They'd have to be there early. And it's just, you know, and then I thought, you know, the way Josh was talking, it's like anybody can come, but oh no. There's a fee, there's a cost to that.
Was there a funeral here today or is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
What?
There's a funeral here tomorrow.
Yes. Well, there's a shiva here tomorrow. No, the funeral's here.
Funeral's here
The
too.
funeral's here, and then
The
it's,
shiva's
and then
not
after the vendors, the shiva.
So I grew up with his kids.
Wait, is the Shiva's here tomorrow too?
Yeah, I think like the year after the funeral.
But they're going to the cemetery.
Then they come back.
Then they come back here.
They're gonna come back here, go to Agudas.
Oh, that area.
They come back
But,
here.
I read the obituary and only one of his 3 kids was mentioned. That's not so cool. You know what I mean?
That one?
One, he has 3 children. Only one made it into the obituary. And even then, he was barely mentioned.
And was that with the Epstein one, or was that?
The Epstein one. That's terrible. Well, the one son he fired from the business. And then he opened his own business, and it's bigger than right now. So he's not just he's their number 1 competitor, he's bigger than they were. But you made that, you know what I mean?
Are you going to the funeral?
My brothers. They were my brothers confirmed, so.
I thought from the pictures of him, he looked really young, and then when I read the obituary, it said he was 78, which is, you know, only 6 years older than me, or 7 years
still the
I
older.
thought he was in his 30s or something. But what's his name, Mike Goldberg?
Yeah.
That's not an unusual name. So,
No.
God, is it warm in here? To me, it's really warm.
Well, last week, what day? Maybe it was just Monday. It was so cold in here. Wow, it's so warm.
When Brandon gets back, I'm gonna figure out how this works.
Is he on vacation this week?
No, he's working during the day and then he's leaving.
Oh, because he wasn't here last night either.
No, because he worked during the day and then he left. And Brittany was coming with him, so I don't know.
So I went to the Shishi program at Tifereth, and the first part of it was given by their new assistant rabbi. Her name is Karen Martin. And the title was The Women of King David's Court. And they actually did like a little play where they had 9 women, or 8 women sitting up at a long table with their name tags in front of them, Abigail and Abital and Michal and Bathsheba came at the end, and what's her name, Hagid or something, Hagrid? Anyhow, it was pretty funny, because like he married them all, and he's like Henry VIII, except he was married to them all at the same time, and anyone who wanted Bathsheba, he really wanted her, so he ordered her husband to go into battle that would never be won, and then he had to be in the front. So it was funny because I started thinking about it. We were sitting and having lunch afterwards. It was a big group, and lunch was catered by Scotty's. And somebody said, "Yeah, he had a lot of wives." I said, "Not only a lot of wives, he had sex with anyone he wanted to." Well, when I was in Israel, we were in the desert where there were land formations and there was a waterfall, and that's where he had a tryst with Jonathan. So he wanted sex. He got a lot of it from wherever he could.
Well, let me tell you something. I only have Bathsheba. My wife is Bathsheba, that's her name. I'm David, I'm David, she's Bathsheba.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, and then we were musing about it, and I said, somebody asked if this was in the Torah, the story of him, and I said, no. In fact, a bunch of people said no, and I said, the Torah is the five books of Moses, and it's like shortly after Moses is death. But all the rules were written, all the laws were written while they were wandering in the desert, and one of the laws was married to one person only.
He went where?
David, of course, didn't think that applied to him, because his middle name was Trump, David Trump.
Here's my question. Even the group is she,
Yeah.
even though you're a she,
Shut up. Well, here we have Chazak, age 55 and over, but we don't card. So we're having a Chazak lunch on Sunday morning here at Mark's. Everybody just show up and pay for your own. And it has to be written that way. Because we had one about a year ago. Oh, it was at the East Market. And we had a really nice turnout. And this one lady and her husband come over and they give me and they ordered a lot of food, and then they ordered food to go, which is fine at these, you can order whatever you want to. And she comes over, she gives me this, yeah. And I said, okay, that's nice. And she goes, well, to reimburse us. I said, until I entire store cast in when they do that, but anyway. He goes, but the produce department is still there. He will walk in, and he thinks the produce department is a buffet for him. And I have seen him pick up like a big tomato, like those huge ones, and just start eating it as he's walking through. He eats as he walks through. Somebody say something today. And now, I've seen people walk out with their carts before, and I feel that person just back in the car, they pay for it. And it's like,
Good evening, everybody. What? All right, so we will finish the chapter on all Jews are responsible for one another. So it's a little short thing today. The interconnectedness of the individual and the community. Hasidic Rebbe Shlomo of Karlin taught, a man once saw a precious object very high up. Wanting to fetch it down, he asked a number of people to make a tower so that the topmost person could reach for the object. Supposing one of them, the lowest for instance, he said, "What's the point of my being here? After all, I'll never reach up so high in any case." And so saying, he jumped aside. His actions would have been extremely foolish and would have endangered the lives of the others. We are all equally necessary, the highest and the lowest. If so much as one person fails, the whole will not reach the desired goal. If I am not for myself, who is for me? And if I am only for myself, what am I? Professor Lewis Kaplan, formerly of the Baltimore Hebrew College, has noted that Hillel's choice of words suggests that a person who is concerned only with himself or herself ceases to be a who and becomes instead a what. We are one, former United Jewish Appeal campaign slogan. The Jewish support for the various UJA campaigns to bring oppressed Jews to Israel underscores how intensely many Jews feel a familiar commitment to the brethren throughout the world. Thus, among the rescue campaigns the UGA has organized over the past 45 years, campaigns that have raised well over $1 billion are Operation Magic Carpet, Operation Moses, and Operation Solomon, and Operation Exodus. Jews alone are vulnerable, but Jews must not be alone. Eli Wiesel. And thus concludes our chapter on being responsible for one another. So if and when we continue, we will continue with the models of leadership. And you're welcome. Okay. So today concludes the 21st of Kislev, and we are observing the yearsites of Ronald Friedman, Christopher Hesensall, Helen Kaplan, Erwin Topolowski, Harry Van Tosh, Charles Zagrens, and Simon Kirsten. Are there any other yearsites for the 21st? In place of Kaddish, we will do Kaddish de Rabbanan, which is found on page 13. Everybody can participate if you so desire. Yiskadal v'yiskadash shemei Rabbah b'yamad ivrachi rusei v'yamlich machusei v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei dechol beis Yisrael v'agola uvizman kori v'yamru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mavorach li'olam v'yomei amaya. Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yispa'ar v'yisramam v'yisnaseh v'yisadar v'yishaleh v'yishalal shmei d'kudusha b'richu. Li'elam min kol b'rchasa v'shirasa tushbachasa v'nechemasa damiram v'yalma v'yimru amen. Al Yisrael v'al Rabbanan v'al Tamidei Hon v'al Kol Tamidei Hon v'al Kol Man da'azki b'rata di v'chasra chadein v'di b'chol chasar v'chasar Yehei lachon ochon shalama rabba chino v'chista v'rachamin v'chayin arachin umzona v'richa umkana v'kanj kadam avahon di v'shemaya v'yimru amen. Yehi Shlomo Rabba min Shemaya, v'chayim tovim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, Hu Barak Hamav Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'Yimru Amen. Is there anybody that has your side or would like to daven Myrav? Myrav begins on page 137. If able, please rise.
V'hu rachum yechaper avon v'lo yashchit v'yirba l'shiva po v'lo yir kol chamato Adonai Hoshea melech yaneinu b'yom kareinu Baruchu et Adonai hamvorach Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed Baruch Adonai melech olam asher b'varo marvarovim El l'chai v'kayam tamidim l'chaleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch ato Adonai hamariv aravim avad olam be'yisrael torah mitzvot Ki heim chayenu v'yarech yameinu v'hem negeh yomam v'layla v'avadcha tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch ato Adonai ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol miodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ela Asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam liot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot u'visharecha. The middle of page 138 through the middle of 139. Al contrary, the Amrus on the Animals in the Hospital to have a on the 60 or 10 was or them call me for some Navasi, Matamala Tatura, or the Nations of Mimakarem, the Mantis grew as the Taman call me for Slavis, some connection the Hamanian, Relay, Hamashar, Seki, Hamayr, Mitzrayim, the also Hamlahi, Manian, Relay, Ham, I don't know, Relay, Ham. Adonai Elohechem Emet, the middle of 139. V'amonon kozos v'kayom aleinu ki wan aleinu v'ein zila tov v'anachnu Yisrael. V'yotze esamo Yisrael mitocham l'chei Rusalei. U'malchuto b'ratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe u'Miriam u'vnei Yisrael echanu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam mi chamocha bo'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh norati lo dosefele malchut chavro v'necha b'kei yom l'shnei Moshe zeli anu v'yamru Adonai yimloch li'olam va'ed V'ne'emar kif Adonai Yaakov u'gola miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ato Adonai go'al Yisrael. We'll continue davening together on the top of page 140. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us, our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Praised are you, Adonai, eternal guardian of your people Israel. Ushmor tzeitenu v'ayinu l'chaim v'shalom me'atav yerolam baruch atah Adonai shomer amo Yisrael lo'ad. The middle of page 140 through the middle of 141. Baruch Adonai. Yismachanu v'sashem v'yar kolam v'yiplu al b'neihem v'yomram ekol. Baruch Hana b'yom, Baruch Hana b'layla, Baruch Hana b'shach b'yom, כי המלכות שלך היא לא מעטים לך בכבוד, כן לנו מלך אלוה אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני, המלך בכבודו תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. The Al Kol Ma'asav. We rise for the Chatzi Kaddish, page 141. Yitkadav Yikra Shmei Rabbah B'yomad Yivrach Yerutei V'yamlich Malchutei B'chaychonu Mechonu V'chayrecho Be'Yisrael B'agolav Yitzman Kariv Imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Lo Me'omaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudisha b'richu li'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran b'yoma v'imru amen. The Amidah begins on page 142 and continues individually through page 148. Those still daven, you should of course continue. The rest will turn to page 149. Yitkra v'ikra shmei rabba b'yomad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'meichon v'cherecho be'Yisrael b'agalav v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba m'varach le'olam l'omei omaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha b'richu Li'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran b'yoma v'imru amen. Titkabal tzorhon v'adhon l'cho Yisrael kadam avon v'yishmaya v'imru amen. Yesh lama rabba min shamaya v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Aleinu, page 150. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol Atei gdula v'yoser bereshit Shelo atzanu v'yoyei harasot V'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama Shelo sam chelkeinu kahem Teshamayim v'yosei haaretz u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mimal u'shchina duzo b'gavhei meromim hu Eloheinu ein od emed malkeinu efes zulato kakatu b'torato v'yadata hayom v'shevotel levavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim mimal v'yahaaretz mitachad Cain, the Kavel Khanelers. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech kol haaretz bayom ha'u yeh Adonai echad u'shemo Zecher Tzadik Livracha, the memory of the righteous is only for a blessing. Today, on the 22nd day of Kislev, we recall with affection the yahrzeits of Morris Fierlich, Gene Robbins Melman, Henry Moss, Yak Politi, Lawrence Polster, Sarah Ellen Robbins, Charlotte Rose, Philip Sherman, Shaw Freed, Rose Golden, Estelle Zich, and Louis Rosenstein. Is there anyone else observing a yahrzeit? All those in mourning, those observing a yahrzeit, the Mourner's Cottage, page 151. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei rabba b'yomad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael b'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam l'omei omaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpohar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha b'richu li'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata de'amiran b'yoma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Services tomorrow morning, 7:30, tomorrow afternoon, 5:30, and it's Rabbi Hillel said. Good night, everybody.